Hello, all you beautiful people, and welcome to the first episode of the Time to Kill TTK podcast. Just me and my buddies in the mornings having our chats, our time to kill. This week, we're talking about The Last of Us and how good they've transitioned the video game to TV, and just give our thoughts on it. Let me know what y'all think.
All right.
So, The Last of
So,
Us.
All right.
yeah.
So Tyler S.
Yep.
Why? Simple question. Why have you not? No. What's your excuse for not playing The Last of Us?
For not playing it.
Yeah.
So my start excuse is I didn't get a PS4
I hate it. I hate it already.
until until like 4 years into its life. But I will say this: The Last of Us was one of the first games I got, and I didn't like it when I first started playing it, so I never played it.
What?
Because you guys know that I didn't play any single player games by myself. I was
It's
always
to be honest. Did it scare you?
it confused me. I got to a part that I was confused on and couldn't get past, so I quit playing.
Oh
Okay. I
God,
gotta. I gotta
Jeremy.
give him. I got. Well, no, hold on. Wait.
You got
I've always
confused
said this.
by
I've always said
level
this about The
design.
Last of Us. I've always said this about The Last of Us. Okay. That game isn't fun. It's
It's
not like a
depressing.
fun game to play. It is
Yeah, it's a
a
very depressing game.
stressful, depressing, and it feels like a chore while you're playing it. But it's such a beautiful, amazing story that what makes and the gameplay is good,
Yeah.
but it's not like a game you're turning on. You're like, I'm excited to play. You're just
Well,
excited to
like
find out more.
the games that I play by myself, because I wasn't big on single player. I would play like Minecraft, Assassin's Creed games, and racing games and football. That was my
So
games.
game's not
Happy
anywhere near in
games.
the same league as The Last
Yeah,
of Us.
they weren't really story based. Like Assassin's Creed, I like it because it's history. That's why I
Yeah.
Yeah.
was good with it. But
Okay.
Um.
Well, I can kind of understand that.
No, there's still no excuse as of right
But
now that
well,
you
I was
have
well,
gonna
not
say,
played.
you said that was PS4, right?
yeah,
Did you not ever have a PS3?
yeah, I did.
Okay, well, it launched
This
on
boy trying to
PS3.
make excuses like it didn't come out a
Well,
generation
when
earlier.
I had a PS3, I
I was a
didn't.
baby.
The only thing I got
I
a
was
PS3
4.
late too, but I don't on PS3. All I played on it honestly was Black Ops 2.
Yo, I want you to be serious with me though, Tyler, because I know you're a lot younger than we are.
Yeah,
How old was you whenever you got that PS3?
when I got the PS3, uh, my uncle got it
Because
for me and
that thing had a 10-year life cycle. That's why I
well,
asked.
me and my brother got it for Christmas from my uncle. I'm gonna say in 2012. So I would have been 14 or 15 when I got it.
God.
I was an Xbox 360 kid.
Oh yeah, we were until those three
I
reigns
still
of death
think I still
struck.
think that it beat out the PS3 during that phase.
I agree.
No, you
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
It beat out the PS3 from at the start of the generation. Sony started laying it on during the second half, those last 5 years, and Microsoft just quit supporting the 360. Remember, like they didn't have
Yeah,
anything
but
for like
but
the last
but
five
hold on.
years.
I think what he's saying, and I agree. Like there was something special about the Xbox 360 compared to the PS3. The only reason why I feel like the Xbox 360 had more, well, because it had more
We
problems
just
because it
yeah,
broke so many times. But if the system would have came out and been a
and if they had supported it long term, like what was the last great Xbox 360 game you can remember playing? Because Sony was like launching. I mean, you got to think Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2, and Uncharted 3 all released on the PS3, along with The Last of Us. And we're talking tail end of the generation. Then God of War
They,
3, Killzone 2 and 3,
yeah,
Infamous 1 and 2.
the one thing that I think or Microsoft always has over Sony is racing games. Forza is always better.
Forza
I
is
can.
better than
Forza's
Gran
a lot
Turismo.
better than Gran Turismo, in my opinion. I don't like the whole the UI design and stuff of Gran Turismo. Like I
Yeah,
used to, but these last, I don't know, like the last three Gran Turismos I have not
Yeah.
liked compared to Forza.
Yeah.
Even the new Forza Motorsport looks great.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But back to The Last of Us,
Yeah.
right?
But since the
Eh,
show came out, after I beat Days Gone, I know I'm gonna be playing Hogwarts, but I'm definitely gonna play The Last of Us as I can.
He ain't gonna play. He's lying.
I have
He
both of
has
them.
to.
It's
He
gonna
has
be
to,
it's gonna
man.
be the sixth all over
He
again. The
bought
PS6.
he just recently bought the PS or he just recently bought The Last of Us Part
Part
1
two.
and The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
Oh really?
So yeah, but
So
then
he
I
has
got
to
Days
play them.
Gone, but I have to beat Days Gone first because I can't stop
No,
playing it.
you really don't. Put that game away and play
If
the
I
better
put it
zombie
away, I'm
game.
never gonna beat it.
That's fine.
I
Ain't
beat
like you're
I
gonna be
beat
playing a
more
second one.
games in the past 6 months than I've beat in probably my 25 years of living.
Well, I've
You know
played
why?
less games in this past 6 months than I played.
No,
I
but
played nothing.
we were talking about The Last of Us, and we were talking about uh the show compared to the game and why it's so good, as opposed to things like Halo and honestly pretty much just any other video game adaptation. Like for me, Arcane proved that you could do video game stuff, but it was still not saying its content wasn't for mature audiences or anything like that, but just that it wasn't live action. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that Resident Evil one was really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
But here's the thing, right? The Last of Us comes out and it's like you were saying, Dustin. It's they changed things, but then there were still things where you're watching it and you're like, oh my god, that's shot for shot
Yeah,
from the video game.
it's like a love letter. Like
Yeah.
you could tell that Neil
But
Druckmann seriously cares about
but
that
then it
game.
subverts your expectations. Like the whole thing with Tess at the very end, that was handled completely different than the game, and it was handled better. There the things they
Yeah,
changed were like, my
like
god, I
I
love
was
that
That
way more than
scene
the
I
game.
was
still makes me
initially mad about the
uncomfortable.
spores.
What'd you say? Oh, it made you uncomfortable
It does make me. That scene makes me so uncomfortable.
because because where they kiss.
Yeah,
You know that's a stalker. I didn't know that, but they confirmed that that is a stalker.
it was a stalker.
Yeah.
Uh,
So there's like the regular runners. Then
Yeah,
there's
he don't know
yeah,
because he didn't play the game.
yeah. I didn't play very
yeah.
much of it, but I.
Stalkers like are freaky because they like try to obviously stalk and hide in the shadows and stuff.
Uh
Man, I can't wait till we see that bloater. That's gonna be nasty. That's gonna be so cool. But
uh, yeah,
even the things they added at the where again, that's what I'm saying. You can add to the video game lore, but don't ever take away from the lore, and that's what Halo did, right? Like I get excited every episode now for The Last of Us because it's like I wonder what flashback they're going to show at the start of the episode because like every single time they show like
Yeah,
the outbreak, like when that dude asks that woman what do we do and she just says bomb,
bomb.
bomb the entire city and everyone in it. Like tell me that
And
wasn't like
then,
gave you chills
well, yeah,
almost.
She's like,
because
I want
then
to go home and be with my family or whatever.
yeah, well
yeah,
then fast forward and then what happened? And they're inside the show. Like they're all walking around like, also they bombed the city. And it's like, okay, so they did just
Yeah,
what
they
she
did that.
said. That
Yeah,
Well, he's like, is that where one of these missiles landed?
was just
yeah.
Where
awesome.
bombs landed or whatever?
You know how I know that show's huge, man. I was on the television yesterday, and Inside Edition, like ET and Inside Edition,
yeah.
Yeah.
they interviewed a professor of mycology about the cordyceps fungus, and they were talking about this on the news about how it's better than The Walking Dead because this is based on actual scientific things that actually could take place, because the cordyceps fungus is real and everything they said about the temperatures and stuff like that. The scientists said, there's like a 2 out of 10 chance that would ever happen. He said, but the fact that it is a possibility makes it scarier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a thing on TikTok yesterday about the show where
Was it?
they tried to get Pedro Pascal to play the game a little bit, but he's not good at games, so he didn't play very much of it. But they also didn't want them to play a whole lot of it, so they didn't try to imitate Joel and Ellie from the game. They give their own little spin to it, and there's just little things they do that makes it better because they're making their own character with it, kind of.
Yeah. Man, for them not to have played it, they do a pretty good
Well,
job. Like
well,
Ellie is
well. Did you watch
fantastic.
Bella Ramsey's interview though?
Which one?
Bella.
She said in part 2, season 2, or what'd she say? I seen one where she talking about like they haven't even started on season 2 or whatever.
No, because they say they're waiting to see if it's going to keep on staying big, but it has to. I mean, I haven't played the game, and I think it's a great show just in general.
Yeah. Well, no. What Bella Ramsey said too was that is they actually advised her not to play the game, but
Did
she
they?
said that she. Yeah, they told her the same thing. Like, well, they told her like, don't play the game. You know, don't get on the internet and stuff like because people were buttholes and was calling her ugly
Yeah,
and was saying that she's too ugly to play Ellie, which is just totally false in the
Yeah.
first place. And she's a great actress.
yeah,
Um, but they told her not to play the game because they didn't want her, dealing with like these massive expectations. But she, but she said that she couldn't help herself, so she actually did play the game. She just didn't tell them about it halfway through
I
playing
didn't
the
see
game.
that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like good on you, girl, because you can tell she played that game a little bit.
I was
Because
gonna say her smart like remarks and the way she talks is like, man, she's a perfect Ellie.
yeah. But here's the thing: when they announced that show had a 22% increase in viewers for episode 2, it's like name a
Yeah, it's
show.
just getting
All
bigger.
shows drop off. This one is actually 22% is a lot, man.
It had
In
a bigger thing
episode
than the. You say it
two,
had a bigger view than Game of Thrones,
Yeah, it actually
and I was
for
like,
it's the
wow.
entire, and that's what's incredible. People think only about Game of Thrones, but it's like the viewership of like it set the record for HBO all time. It's like man, that's more than The Sopranos, more than Game of Thrones. Like
Yeah, but
I'm talking
Game of Thrones
fantastic.
finales and stuff always just like pop off
Yeah,
with viewership, and
yeah.
it's like that's just
So
crazy.
imagine what this one's going to do.
episode 2 was so good too.
It was.
So much suspense. That's what kept me
I
in
didn't think
that
it.
one.
I didn't think it could though. Like I was excited for
I'm
the
excited
first
to see what they
episode.
do this week coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I watched
yeah,
the sneak peek.
yeah. About Bill and Frank.
Yeah, I was
To
like,
be
oh, it's
honest,
gonna be good.
what was the last time you ever watched a sneak peek for a show? That just shows how good it is.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, like,
Yeah,
the cool thing is PlayStation even will put up stuff about the HBO show. Like they put up that Anatomy of a Clicker episode or video on YouTube yesterday, and I watched it, and it was so cool because, we talked about this. I don't know if you knew this or not, Dustin.
Not right now.
They got the guys that did the mocap for the clickers to actually play the clickers in the show,
yeah,
Oh yeah, I knew that. Yeah, I
and then
watched
they
that
got
whole
the
thing for both episodes.
yeah
Like people that
um
just had like really loved the game and loved clickers and stuff like that. And then the guy that made Vecna, I seen the guy that made Vecna and did the
did
art for
the
him and stuff.
yeah.
Did the
Well, here's the cool thing too.
it.
The PlayStation thing that they uploaded yesterday. I don't know, it was like 5 minutes or something, where they actually talked to Naughty Dog employees. It was just so cool to see that they love the employees, or they love the studio as much as the game, because I don't know. You would imagine that whenever the people that wrote Halo, when they're watching the Halo show and they're like, why did they change that? Why did they make it to where like I wrote this character like this and now they changed her? Like they're showing no respect for my designs, right?
Yeah.
Instead the artists were like, yeah, it was actually pretty incredible. They would have us like, they took all of our concept art and then they would like show us their designs for the clickers, and it was like, which you obviously know, it was like 100%. They didn't deviate from their
Nah.
designs at all.
Nah.
And then the two voice actresses that did the voice, or the one voice actress and the voice
Nadine.
actor for, well, I'm saying even for
Not
like the
Nadine.
clickers, they got the clickers to do the same thing. But you, Nadine,
Going Uncharted, right?
what's her name?
Uh,
Marilyn,
Maylene,
what,
Maylene, yeah, something like that.
Marlene,
Marlene.
yeah, yeah. It's just incredible, and that's what I'm saying. Whenever people say that oh yeah, you can't trust Neil Druckmann to make it's like he directed that episode, man. What are you talking about?
I'm excited.
At
Wanna watch
first,
it.
I will be honest. At first, I was like, man, I don't know about the no spores and just tendrils. But
Yeah.
after he shot that thing and all them, I was like, this could get really interesting in future
Mhm.
episodes
Yeah, like
because it does
things.
have that Stranger Things vibe, right?
Yeah, like you can't step here, you can't
No,
walk
no,
here.
quit.
Yeah,
Oh, go
but
ahead. Go ahead. Get your cup.
do you guys? I mean, here's the crazy thing: we already know the entire show's great because they reviewed it. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that it gets better or that it kind of just like falls off?
I
Or
think it gets better.
you do?
Oh yeah. So I pulled up the newest reports about the sales increase. I know we've talked about that before, but this was published this morning actually.
Oh, really?
So after episode 2 from the last week, The Last of Us Part 1 for PS5 went up 238% in sales compared to last week entirely. And then the PS4 remastered went up 322% in sales.
Jeez, a whiz.
And it was number 1 on Amazon. And then number 2, or part 2 was like 3 and 5 for it.
You know, it's crazy. That game's going to sell another 10 million copies just because of how good the show is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't. Here's how you know. Like, Halo didn't get any increase at all, I don't think. If it did, I don't remember them saying, like, oh, this has brought in, 10,000 more players to the game.
It's because
You
Halo
know?
5 wasn't any good.
I mean, Halo Infinite had a good launch.
Yeah, launch.
It was just realizing that the everything after was
Yeah.
not going to be good.
Oh man, that's annoying.
So here, what is 238% exactly? So if like you sell, say for every 100 copies they sold 238 more.
Yeah.
Jeez! Oh my gosh! So that added. Whereas before they would just sell their 100 copies, now they're selling 300 and just say 350 copies instead of 100 copies.
Yep. And that's just like the PS5 version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they lowered the price on Last of Us Part Two. Well, I don't know if it's still lowered or not, but man, they were so smart because remember they had like that sale, and then they had the thing where you
Yep.
could play 2 hours of the Last of Us remake. You know how many people played the first 2 hours and made it just far enough to meet Ellie after Sarah dies and stuff? It's like they knew what they were doing giving
Yeah,
you
they
that.
did.
Yep.
They
I mean,
knew
it
what they were
definitely
doing.
was a good cash grab move, honestly, but they didn't need it. Oh,
No, I just want them to do the same thing with God of War and Horizon as they're doing with The Last of Us. Get the original creators in
God,
there and
God of War
and
would be insane.
and do what the
oh
fans
yeah.
want for the love. Like everyone was cool with Pedro Pascal and stuff. It's like and I know we're talking about Microsoft now, but it's like Microsoft needs to hire Dave Bautista. Like the fans
Yeah.
we want Dave Bautista as Marcus, man. That dude has already proven he's an incredible actor.
Oh
Incredible.
yeah.
Right?
I love Dave Bautista.
And you
Anytime I
got
see Dave
Christopher
Bautista in
Judge
something, I get
being
excited.
Kratos.
I'm excited to see this new M. Night Shyamalan movie with Dave Bautista in it.
Knock at the wood or knock at the cat. What is that?
I
Knock at the
forget
cabin.
what, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I agree, Tyler. Did you say Christopher Judge?
Yep.
Yeah, you 100% hire Christopher Judge to play Kratos. 100%. I would even hire I can't remember his name, but I'd even hire the boy that plays Atreus. He looks like he'd be a good.
Sonny what? Sonny Santi? I don't know. He
It's
just
hard to
released
pronounce.
new music.
Yeah. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
But it's like
It's like
yeah,
top 50 or something like that.
where some people were saying like Triple H and stuff. It's like I mean Triple H is good, but I don't
Dude
feel
just
like
had to
he's
retire because he get ready to have a heart attack. I do not need my Kratos having a heart attack.
and then
Yeah.
they have to replace him. Christopher Judge just won what 2 back-to-back Best Voice Actor awards.
Yep.
No, he didn't win. He didn't win the last one. He
Didn't win the
lost
last
to.
one.
Yeah, he lost to the guy that did Arthur Morgan in Red Dead.
Ah.
But he was nominated
Let's be honest, that guy did an amazing job.
Oh yeah.
as Arthur Morgan. Oh
Hmm.
yeah. But here's the thing: Christopher Judge is actually. I know he voiced Kratos, but he was actually just a regular actor first for like Stargate and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I didn't know this either. Dustin, you still there?
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
listening.
in the Dark Knight when they have uh all those cops are in that tunnel and Gort or what's his name? I don't know. That one cop is trying to rescue him, and that black guy pulls the pin on that grenade and
Huh?
says, "Watch out below!" And he drops the grenade.
Yeah.
He's the bad guy. That's
We'll eat
Christopher
this later.
Judge. That's the dude that plays Kratos.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and it's like Zoe Saldana has already showed it, or however you say your last name. She's already shown us that it don't matter what color you are, they can paint you to whatever color
Yeah.
you need to be. So the whole thing of like, oh, Christopher Judge is black and it's like, dude, Kratos is literally painted white and red.
Right.
And even if he is black, who cares? We're talking about a fictional character. Of course, Jeremy,
Yeah.
struggles with a black actress as the Little Mermaid, so he wouldn't necessarily
As a
like it
fish.
probably. but who cares? He doesn't even watch the shows.
I'm kind of
Hey, you know
excited for
what?
Little Mermaid too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you leave
Oh,
Jeremy
I'm
alone though,
extremely excited. Why is that?
because Jeremy as a black man can talk about that kind of stuff. We can't.
Hey,
So you
hey,
just keep your
hey,
lips
hey,
shut, okay?
hey, Jeremy is whiter than any person we know.
No, he just acts whiter.
That's what I'm saying.
Man Merritt wears custom made T-shirts and basketball
Glitter
shorts.
Hey, but it's fine because it got puffy paint.
Yeah,
Black.
And Jeremy, I know
that's
you're
right.
probably going to watch
Hey,
this podcast. We love you, but you is a dork, my man.
Your
hey.
style sucks.
At least they all have good messages. They all have Bible verses and all that.
Yep, yep.
My
You know
question
it's
is,
Jeremy.
most of his youth kids are older now. Is he just having them redo his clothes?
I don't know because I haven't been to church for a while.
Shame,
I was one of his
shame,
kids.
For
shame.
shame. But here's
Oh,
the
so you wrote on his shirt.
No, I'm bad at writing. My cousin did because she's good at writing. I got awful handwriting.
I'll be right back, boys. I have to call down here to the work.
Alrighty.
okay. So yeah, I think Sony is looking at Uncharted, thinking, man, we should have hired Nathan Fillion. We should have, you know, had Naughty Dog help with the
They did
casting
hire.
and
They did hire Nathan Fillion for a little
for what?
cameo. He was a
No, he.
cameo inside of
Oh, you're
Uncharted.
no. You're talking about Nolan North, the
Oh,
voice
that's right.
actor.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted freaking Nathan Fillion. Remember how great that fan made movie was? That Uncharted
Yeah.
fan made movie with Nathan Fillion. I like Tom Holland, and I wouldn't even have had a problem with him playing Drake because he actually did a good job. But it was just again the story, the way they had Sully and him meet, all that. It felt cheap. Like whenever they showed the trailer for Indiana Jones and there was just like a special feeling to it.
Mhm.
Like that's what Uncharted should have been like.
Did you guys see where they're going to have Ashley Johnson play Ellie's mom in like a flashback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see? And that's a cool thing too. They were actually working on prequel DLC. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
They were.
Yeah.
Neil Druckmann came out and said that they were working on prequel DLC, um, where you actually played Ellie's mom, but they pushed that back or they took that off the burner in order to start work on Last of Us Part 2 or something like that. So they turned that Last of Us DLC into this, you know what I mean? So now
Well,
we'll
it's
actually get
working.
to see now we'll actually get to see what that backstory is.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm still guessing that Troy Baker plays Dave or David, excuse me. a villain. I will say this too. I would be surprised if we don't. And I know Nolan North doesn't have a whole lot to do with The Last of Us, except for he did play David. But I would be surprised if we don't see some type of little cameo from Nolan North.
Yeah. I mean, the man's been in
I
everything.
can see it.
He's been in everything that Naughty Dog's made for what, last 15 years,
He's just an iconic voice actor, man.
right? I do enjoy talking to y'all
All right, I'm back. Putting squeaks.
Sometimes, right?
sometimes.
When you ain't talking about certain games that he wants.
Hey, I'm trying to get him not to play that game. I'm trying to help him out.
Yeah, you're doing a terrible. I'm doing a terrible job.
I don't think I am.
I don't think I am.
Can't wait to turn it on and be like, man, this game sucks. Like I wouldn't touch it.
I don't even know what's going on.
Dustin, that game so bad they thought I was skipping cutscenes.
Oh yeah, I was like, Tyler, why'd you just skip that cutscene? And then whenever I played it, I was like, oh, you didn't skip that cutscene. It just stopped there.
Oh,
Apparently.
it really doesn't show you how you got captured by those people?
No, no,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. You're fighting this huge
Like I
freaking
was
dragon,
confused. I was
Dustin.
like, did I?
You're welcome.
You're fighting this huge dragon, and you beat it, okay?
Yeah.
Then you go up on a village, like this village actually, and there's 2 guards standing guard, and then it just stops. It just goes black, and it comes back on, and she's wearing handcuffs, and they're getting ready like they want to execute her, and it's like, what the heck? And she's like trying to tell them why they shouldn't execute her. It's like, girl, you just fought a dragon.
That's whenever production is.
These dudes got sticks.
Production cost is too much, and so we need to cut a part out in the game. Let's just go ahead and skip that part.
And then Jeremy's like, yeah, I just don't trust Neil Druckmann. It's like, bro, not only did he write the show, you know he directed episode 2 of that show that was so incredible, right, Duff?
Yeah, I saw
We didn't
all
even
that.
get to talk about it, but that
Yeah,
how
I saw-
crazy was that episode, man?
That was, oh my god,
Insane,
man.
insane. That show's
Game.
incredible.
Well, you got a ride.
It really
We're
is.
friends now.
It,
It's a
I
perfect
actually
show.
thought last night, Dustin. I was like, it's crazy to me that Jeremy said he didn't trust Neil Druckmann when.
No, Jerry
I
said he still didn't
understand.
finish the first episode, remember?
Yeah,
How can you have
And I was like, what an idiot. How do you start that episode not
But
finish it?
here-
I was dying that night, and I was like, I paused it. I
and
came
here's
back
what
to
I'll
it.
say about Neil Druckmann too. For all the people that complain about Part 2, and I'm not saying you or I'm not saying. My point is this.
I only complained because the whole too much into the lesbian aspect. I don't even know what really happened. So
But Jeremy's like, well, a lot of people just have a problem with him like killing Joel and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know. I was just thinking yesterday, whenever they did an interview with Neil Druckmann, and he said that, you know, that they have moved on from Uncharted, and they would probably move on from The Last of Us if they don't start Part 3 soon. They may just go ahead and stop after the fact and start working on new IP. And I thought to myself, it's his, like, he wrote the story, he came up with the characters, the concept. It's like, if he wanted to kill Joel, that's his business.
yeah,
Like, if you wrote a story down on your piece of paper and then you decided you wanted to kill the main character, like, even if people didn't like it,
Man, come back.
that's still your, like, your business.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
And obviously
Wait a
it's working
second.
for him.
Wait a
Look at
second.
the last
They
of the
said
show.
that they were gonna
Thinking about riding
stop
south.
production on
The
factions.
Santiam Pass was
No,
blocked.
no,
There was
no.
no way through, and he said that
He
he knew
said
another way.
they've moved on from Uncharted, like, not, you know, pretty much like, don't ask us if we're gonna make Uncharted 5 because we're gone.
Just listen to me. Just listen. Do you remember what he said?
And he said,
I'm glad they know when to stop. I'll beat a dead horse.
right? But he said that
Of
they
course, I'll
will
say
do
that, but I'd
the
love to have another Uncharted.
I would too. Well, here's the thing: even though they're not making it, doesn't mean
Tilson,
that
Tilson,
someone else did. You know,
Tilson Pass.
because they were going to
yeah,
have
I'll
the
do
Days
that.
Gone developers make an
Years all over again.
Here's the only thing I disagree with, though. I think because they were going to have Ben
listen,
Studios
Brian,
making
they,
Uncharted 5, remember? But Ben
Yeah, but
Studios
that's
didn't want to
found
make it.
her ID badge.
But
Ben
that's the same
Studios
as
made a great
Sure.
Uncharted. Uncharted Golden Abyss was
I think
awesome.
she's alive.
yeah, but that's like switching from Cliffy B's gears to when they sold what's that? The Guilty Gear? No, what is that? Who's that?
Or the
I don't know,
Coalition.
loser.
The Coalition, yeah.
No,
It's
but
like no.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like when Sony Ben Studios made Uncharted Golden
It's
Abyss,
Halo
reviewed it,
3,
pretty good.
Halo 5, all
Was
over
it
again.
Yeah, but Uncharted Golden Abyss was great. I would love for them to do that.
The only reason why that game is so great is because it was different with the Switch. Story was actually like
Not that
not
good.
mind-boggling. Yeah,
I don't even remember.
it was
to
just
be
I don't
honest.
either. So I just remember like you gonna be in that cave and it was like had some like scientific element. Because remember you rub the back of the thing to rub the charcoal.
Yeah, I
or
was kind of
light.
annoyed there wasn't a supernatural element to it.
Yeah, so it makes you kind of realize like
Maybe it wasn't that good.
yeah, it was just cool for the Switch.
Okay, look,
Cool for him.
there's
Yeah,
nothing to tell.
That is probably true.
There's no way over the Sandy.
But no, they said after The Last of Us Faction 2.
Yes, yes, I'm coming back. Listen,
If
like
they
I
didn't
said,
start production on
I got some
part
shit
3 soon. Like
leaking out.
his whole thing is, I think what Neil Druckmann is wanting to do is, I think he
Deke.
really
Hey,
loves
I heard.
the production side of it.
I mean,
Yeah.
what you did for
I could
us,
see him.
How you. The
That's
Rippers,
why when
all
people
of them,
complain
I
about
just-
Neil Druckmann, it's like,
I know
man,
you
are
had
you
to do
crazy?
it.
This dude just
What else was gonna
proved
stop
that
him,
not
you know?
'only can a video game
Yeah,
adaptation
look,
be
Blair, I'm not
good,
proud of
it
what I
can
had to
be
do. You know that, right?
exceptional.
I mean,
It can be.
Yeah, you don't think other people are looking at certain games now after that?
Look,
I bet you
They look
Sony themselves are
100%.
looking at the Uncharted movie like, daggone, man, we should have just
We
stuck
should
to
have
the
had.
game.
Yeah, that's
I'm
the thing.
serious. You know they have
And
to be thinking
exactly. And now people are they actually might have been single-handedly might be the reason
let's see
why
what the old
Gears,
man's got to say.
that. Actually gets
thrives.
Batista and
Yeah,
yeah.
because they're like, okay, we need to make this.
And seriously,
HBO is
why does the
killing it right
Mario
now.
game look so good? Because it looks true to the source material.
Yeah, man, I'm ready for some Mario.
Me too. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know that Paramount Pictures has to be looking at The Last of Us. Like, why did we get people that didn't have a love for the game and actually knew the lore of the game to make Halo?
Yeah.
You know a way
Like,
over
imagine-
the Tealson Pass.
Imagine
You
he
told me
is
once
faceless,
I
that
told
he's
you
more like the
nothing.
Mandalorian
Go
where you
on, I
never
can't
see
help
his
you,
face,
Deke.
and it's
Draw me a
still just Steve
goddamn
Downing
map. After
doing
everything
the
you've
voice
done, after
of
everything I've
Chief,
what about what
right?
you've done, old man?
Yeah.
Huh? Sherman's camp, the things that you
Because there is something, I will say, I do understand now why Bungie said that there was just something about when you see his face, it takes all the mystery out of his character, and that is so
How
true.
fucked up is
Because
that?
when you
I
see
was
Chief's
relieved.
face in
Mike, that's what I've been living with.
in Halo,
And now you're
the show that's
chasing
on now,
ghosts.
it
You think
they
finding
start
your
like
old
pulling
lady,
his
if
character
she's
apart, and he starts
alive,
becoming less a
you think that's
super
gonna fix
soldier
it?
and more an
Make
idiot,
you
honestly.
Yeah, and can I be honest?
But I
Like,
got
did you ever want, like, when they first showed his face off, I was like, that ain't what I pictured.
No,
That
I
ain't what I
pictured a
wanted. I
pale
pictured like a
white dude,
mangled,
bald,
like an ugly dude. But he
scars.
wasn't good looking.
No,
You know what I
John
mean?
was never good looking. He
If I
had like
do
scars
this,
on him from
what
going
you
Yeah,
through
and
like
I was like,
training.
yeah,
over
that
the
ain't, he ain't gonna
pass.
be pretty.
You
Yeah,
just
Yeah,
go back.
he had like a
He was
little
like an
nice
average
little
dude.
beard and stuff. Yeah, I was like, what the heck?
Promise me
This dude's handsome,
you don't come
and
back.
he's retarded. He's like, if someone would have told you a couple years ago, like, hey, they're gonna make a Halo show where Master Chief makes love with a Covenant spy,
Shit.
you'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not Halo.
After hardly meeting, after like hardly knowing her.
The sad part is the coolest character in the show is actually Kai. I think that's her name, the blonde haired girl.
Oh yes, yeah.
She's actually cooler than
yeah,
Chief.
she was. Yep.
If they would have started that show off exactly like the game, and it would have been true to the source material, man, it would have been incredible.
I agree.
And here's the thing, like Neil Druckmann said, like, Dustin, I have this pause. You ain't gotta watch. I was just wanting you to see what.
Oh, I wasn't even looking anymore, anyways.
Okay, but it's one of them things where it's like, you can make changes, you can make it your own, but you have to know the limit. Like, I love that Craig Mazin and get the original creator
Last
in here.
winter,
Like,
we
The
were up on
Last of Us is
Farewell
so
Ridge.
good because
We're
Neil
watching the
Druckmann is
freaks.
a part of it.
Thousands of them. I mean, too many to count.
You know,
No, I agree.
for all
All I
the
could think was
Jeremy not saying he doesn't
every
trust
one
him,
of
that
us,
show
man, woman, and child,
is as
are
good as
now
it is,
holding
100%, because Neil Druckmann
And
goddamn
and
helped
you
right.
know
write it.
something I absolutely love, like Brittany, but hey, Dustin, look at this. Like she'll show me a
One
video,
slide
and it's like
now.
a side by
We'll
side
survive.
comparison of the show and the game, and it's like
Yeah, we've
it's
been doing
almost
this
Shot for
already.
shot,
shot
you
for
can't
shot.
deny
Yeah, and
that
it's like
view. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like it is amazing. Like that's my favorite thing about it. Like I get
How
giddy
awesome
during
was the
parts. I'm like, hey,
museum
this right here,
part?
and I'll say it before they say it, and I'm like, see there, like that's
Yep.
just awesome. You can do that.
Surviving.
Yeah,
That's like
how
a
awesome
reward
was
to
the,
fans.
the part where they were in that museum? I loved whenever Joel looked at
Something
Ellie and
Jack
like, from this
used
point
to
forward,
say.
we are
Doesn't
silent,
matter
not
when you
quiet.
hit the road where you're heading out to.
Silent.
Yeah.
Like, and the whole time it's playing out, you're like, oh my god, the statues, the glass things, all that's in the game. All that's in the
Click.
game.
Yeah. Did you
Hey,
see the
Those collectibles.
lighter? I learned that. Did
Oh,
you see what that lighter was?
yeah,
Was it an Uncharted reference?
Sam Drake's lighter.
I was like, that is cool.
Yeah. Yep.
why aren't we doing the podcast right now?
You're the one responsible for it. Go ahead and start it up, kid.
Well, because Tyler didn't want to do it this morning, but now you guys have been on this for
Why
the
did
past
he
half
want it?
an
Hold on.
hour
Why didn't Tyler want to do it this morning?
No, we can do it.
because he had cast
'Cause,
in.
He said,
He had cast in.